What's up, Panda? Peter von Panda here. Hey, the things I do for you out of the curiosity of our nation never cease to amaze me. First of all, I love McDonald's. The Big Mac has been my favorite sandwich for many, many years. I remember as a kid going to McDonald's, and at the time they would put the number of sandwiches that they sold on their signage outside, like over 1 billion served. And it was kind of amazing to think actually that, I lived in a time when they were still counting their burgers. But anyway, they don't do that anymore. I don't know if you remember that. Comment if you do. But the Big Mac has been my favorite sandwich for a long, long time, but it hasn't really changed. And recently when I was at McDonald's, I realized they have added 2 new versions of the Big Mac. I believe they did this starting in 2016 in November in a very limited release, but for whatever reason, my local McDonald's has them. Although I went in tonight to get these sandwiches. Here are the 2 sandwiches flanking the Big Mac. And I actually asked, I said, do you have the bigger version, the Grand Mac, and the smaller version, the Mac Jr.? And the guy had to go ask if they actually had them. So it's clearly not something that is common knowledge yet. Now, I think McDonald's is going to test it. I know McDonald's has a bunch of brilliant people, including Colin Casey at their headquarters, who brings just a wealth of information to the organization. So hopefully they will keep particularly what I think is a really great addition is this Grand Mac. So let me tell you what I know about the Big Mac. The Big Mac is it's 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. And it is apparently 2 1/10 of a pound patties. So it's basically 1/5 of a pound. Now, the Grand Mac here, which comes in a bigger box, slightly bigger in both dimensions, and also wrapped, kind of like an artisan burger, it's built exactly the same way. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. But the patties and everything associated with it are bigger. So the patties, I believe, are each 1/6 of a pound. So that makes this a 1/3 pound burger, which versus the 1/5 pound burger. And then the Mac Jr. here is essentially, which is just wrapped up like a cheeseburger, which is actually a burger that I would get over the cheeseburger, I think, because I love the special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, is really just the first iteration up to the bridge of the Big Mac. So it doesn't have the repeat chorus and verse here with the additional bread, pickles, onions, lettuce, and then another patty. So it just has the 1/10 pound all beef patty. And so it's really just this burger probably cut down by 40%, right? Does that make sense? And you can see here, it's everything except that second layer, right? Mac Jr. is basically 60% of a Big Mac, and then the Big Mac is probably like 70% of a Grand Mac. Now, I called it a Grande Mac, unfortunately, but it's actually Grand Mac. And you can see here, a much bigger patty. In fact, it's kind of broken there. Kind of reminds me of the Steak and Shake patty. You know, it's kind of like when you make them big, you kind of squish them down and they're kind of thin and flat. But one of the complaints that I've always had about the Big Mac is that it's really not a big enough sandwich, I think, for the average Americans in terms of a burger meal. It's still a great sandwich, but you go to Big Mac or Burger King, and the Whopper is a fantastic sandwich, but it's more about this size, but it's a single patty. This is almost like a Burger King Whopper, but with the 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. So there you have it, the family. So you can pick Mac Jr., Big Mac, or Grand Mac, and I think the Grand Mac, for all you grown American boys, is the right sandwich to feed you and keep you satisfied and give you that Big Mac experience that you've loved. Peter von Panda. Guess I gotta go eat. Out.